Hello, welcome back to our channel. I'm Katie and we don't have Ryan here today. Sad, but before we get into this video, you should subscribe to this channel. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So we only have about 20 more to go and it's free to do. So hit that subscribe button and let's get into this video. So the first gift wrap idea that I saw on Pinterest, and I will link the original blog post in the description box below. But all you really need is an orange and some twine. I'm actually just gonna use like normal sewing thread and double or triple it up just because I like this color and I had it lying around, so might as well. But you're gonna take your orange and you wanna have a sheet pan ready. You're gonna lay your slices on the sheet pan, so have it ready for you. I'm actually gonna put mine in front so I can set them down. You wanna set your oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit or 120 Celsius. And you're gonna cut your orange so you get the pretty slice look. So you wanna cut it, if this is an end, this is an end, you wanna cut it in between the two ends, not down the two ends. So I'm just taking a serrated knife to do this. There we go. So we want that pretty orange slice there. It's funny that it's not in the middle. And you're gonna cut them into like, I'm gonna do about 1/4 inch thick. And you're gonna want them to be even pretty much all the way through. That was not the most even slice. But there we go, we have one, and I'm gonna lay that on the sheet pan. Number 2. Now it's the tough part of having to hold the orange as it's getting smaller. Okay, I've cut just about as much as I can off. I'm gonna compost these ends, or you can also use this to make like a vinegar cleaner to use around your house. I already have one with lemon, so I'm just gonna compost these. And here is our tray of oranges. We're now gonna pop this into the oven for a couple of hours until they've dried out completely. And they should turn a darker color, I believe, and be hard. So I'll see you in 2 hours. It is quite a bit later now, and I have a few oranges done. It's been probably 3 hours, and I think I just cut my oranges too thick. With the knives that I had, it was really hard to control, so make sure that you have like a good quality knife to cut your oranges into uniform slices. This one is the best one that I have, and that's going to be like the centerpiece of it. And then I have just this little partial one that I really like. It kind of looks summery, but I think it's gonna look really nice, and it has a little hole in it that's not been cut through, so I'm gonna use the thread through that hole for this one. And I'm just gonna, I think, double or triple up on this dark green thread and wrap it like I would normal ribbon around a gift. I actually think I'm only going to do it once because it's showing up and looking a lot better than I had expected. And I'm going to hook this thread underneath and do the same for the other side, just so it holds on to that middle piece. And now I will do the tie. And if you're using thread like me, you want to be careful that you don't pull too hard on this so it doesn't rip or anything. And now I'm going to take one end and I'm going to grab the full orange that I have and string that up through the middle. This would also look really great with a piece of eucalyptus, or I think a sprig of rosemary, or even from a spruce tree. Rosemary kind of gives that spruce vibe. So I have one thread coming through this little hole here and one thread coming through this hole here, and I'm going to tie a knot right there to keep it in place. Okay, and now I'm going to take my second partial orange piece here and go up through this hole that it has. If yours doesn't have a hole, I would suggest probably just hot gluing it to the pack or to the other orange. That might work. And now I am going to try and tie a bow below the oranges. And there we have it. We have a cute little package with some oranges on it. And now we'll move on to the next designs. So for the second idea, I am going to use a stamp. I'm gonna make a potato stamp because I want it to be customized. You might also be able to order custom rubber stamps, which might make your life a lot easier, but this is a nice and compostable way to make one. This is for my brother, this gift, so I'm gonna cut out the shape of a cat because he has a cat named Mila, and I'm gonna put Mila with a Santa hat all over this gift. If you haven't seen my recreating my Pinterest video, I show you how to make a potato stamp in there as well. And that one might go in more depth than I will here. But to start, I am just going to cut this potato in half. Right now, I am just using a serrated knife, which isn't the best. I'll switch. I didn't want to have to dirty up two knives. You want it to be pretty flat. One of those is flatter than the other. So now that I have it in half, I am going to put it on a towel and have it dry a little or just pat off some of the excess moisture. And then I will take an X-Acto knife to cut out the shape of a cat. And then any details on the cat that I want cut out. So like the eyes, that I will probably just go in after and paint. And since she's two-tone, she'll be two-toned. I'll probably have two lines separating the white and black. So you're gonna take your X-Acto knife and start cutting out the shape that you want. If it's kind of a more intricate design, I would suggest letting the potato dry out a little bit longer, maybe a couple of hours, and then you should be able to write on it for a little bit. But once you start cutting, the moisture that's still inside the potato will start coming out and make the line bleed. I'm just gonna freehand. Okay, so now I have it, so her ears will be black and the most part of her face is going to be white. And now I'm going to use the other half of the potato and make a Santa hat. So for the Santa hat, I just kind of marked out straight down this time the shape of the hat. And now I'm just going from the outline and cutting straight down to the edge of the potato. And then I can just kind of like an apple on an apple core, just peel the potato back and get it out to start making the shape. I think it's way easier to just make the potato the actual shape of your object instead of making there be two levels. So you have the round potato on one side and then a stamp, more of a rubber stamp type look of the potato. Okay, so I have three stamps. I have the cat, I have a hat, and I have the little pom-pom for the hat. I thought it'd just be easiest to separate the two. And now I'm gonna start painting. Again, you wanna dab off any excess moisture from the potato just onto a towel, just so the paint can really stick to it and it doesn't get the paper all wet. So now I just have my paint on a canvas that I mix all of my paints on because it's easiest and it doesn't seep in. I mean, it's just an old canvas. I'm not wasting like a brand new one. This one has been well used and well loved before this. So I'm just going to take like a medium small brush here. And this definitely isn't the best brush, but it doesn't matter unless you have really detailed work because there's lines separating everything. So now I'm going to start painting the cat and stamping it on. And once it's all painted, you're gonna wanna just stamp it on. I'm not using a very hard surface, so it's kind of hard to get it. So I'm just gonna take any paint that didn't get filled, and mine actually didn't fill quite a bunch, just because the potato must not have been very flat. And there we go, we have our first cat stamped on, and now I'm gonna continue that all the way around the present. This is way bigger than I was expecting, so he's not gonna have very many cats on his present, but that's okay. And I really like the imperfection look of this. I think it's really fun, but you can definitely just use a stamp you already have that says like Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate, all over the package, which I think would also be very cute and a lot easier. Or I think if you got fingerling potatoes, like the really little potatoes, and cut them in half, and you had whatever colors you wanted to use, and you just had these like organic polka dots all over the package, I think would also be very cute. So I'm gonna finish putting the cat all over, and then I'll move on to putting the hat on the cat. I also think that if your potato wasn't even, this would definitely be an easier process, and if you wanted to do it on a whole roll, to do it off the package, do it before you actually wrap your gifts. Okay, I am finished with this cat box, and I'm gonna start adding all of the Christmas hats to the cat. So I am just taking a red, because Santa hat, and I'm gonna paint it red, and then it has the white bottom. This is the same process as before, but just adding your extra detail. And you want to make sure that your stamp before was already dry, just so the paint doesn't mix. And you're just going to want to repeat this process until you're all done. There we have it. This is the finished product for me. I actually decided not to do any of the extra face details just because I really liked the way that it looked. And I think this is a really cute way to customize everyone's gift. And it's very budget friendly. So our last way of DIYing wrapping paper, I actually found on TikTok. So this is my first time trying it, so I'm hoping that it's gonna work out. And I'm just gonna make one single Christmas tree on the front of this package. So all you're gonna do is take some green paint and paint a triangle. And it doesn't have to be very nice. And I actually have a really bright Christmas tree here, but I would recommend maybe mixing in just a little bit of black and white to make it a little bit more dull. I think that would be really cute. And then you take a towel. I'm just gonna use this one. It has a bunch of paint on it anyways. And you wanna dab off just any extra paint that might have piled up. And you should have revealed a little bit drier of a Christmas tree. And now you're gonna wanna take a finer brush. I have a really fine brush. And you're gonna take black paint and start painting little Christmas tree shapes all along the way. So when you're doing it, you kind of just scribble all of these Christmas tree shapes all over it to make each of the layers of a spruce or pine tree. And these can be just imperfect little things. I think the imperfectness actually makes it look a lot better. And then once you've made it to the bottom of the triangle, you just add a stump and you're done. You can also go in and add any decorations to the tree that you want. Maybe if you want snow or if you want any Christmas lights, I think that would look really cool. Well, I hope you liked all of these ways that you can spruce up your wrapping paper and customize it to whoever's getting the present, or if you just wanted to make some boring wrap a little bit more fun and festive, then these are the perfect ways to do so. You can also do zero waste wrapping, where you take a scarf or something else of fabric that can be reused over and over, and you actually just tie the package up. That's a more sustainable and zero waste option, and I will put some videos below that do that. So if you are looking for a way to wrap gifts in an eco-friendly way, go check out those videos. But I'll see you later. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. Bye!